Good evening and welcome to Nations League Finals live here at LFS this evening as the Final Four look for one winning spot for the Nations League this time round. The fourth edition of this competition, and three of our four semi-finalists have won it, but the hosts, Germany, are the only side in the semi-finals without a victory in this competition. Portugal, the inaugural winners back in 2018. France won it the second time around, and Spain are the reigning holders. We watch Germany take on Portugal tonight in Munich, followed by a trip tomorrow night to see Spain take on France in the semis before the big final on Sunday to decide our winner. There is some interesting news before we get underway this evening. Originally, kickoff time was 8 o'clock UK time, 9 o'clock local time. That has been delayed by 10 minutes due to adverse weather conditions with the players warming up. So that has delayed the game slightly, but we will kick off at 10 past 8 this evening on LFS tonight. Great to have you with us. Welcome in to the programme. It is great to have you joining us this evening. Two sides that are desperate for success. Two sides that have maybe underwhelmed in recent international campaigns and international tournaments. But Portugal know how to get over the line, and they had their golden spell when they won this competition a number of years ago, and they won the Euros, of course, back then in 2016. But tonight, a very different Portugal side, a very different team, and a very different German side as well from the team that we've seen over the years and the team that were dumped out in their home competition, of course, in the Euros last summer. But both looking for a spot to return here in Munich on Sunday for that all-abated final. We await, of course, the kickoff, which is around about 10 minutes away. So let's bring you kind of where these two teams are and kind of where this has got to in the Nations League. This is the bracket, so the quarterfinals played out back in March in the previous international break. This is the way it turned out from those. Spain progressed after beating Netherlands on penalties after 5-5 draw over two legs in the quarterfinals. A 5-4 penalties win for the reigning European champions meant they were coming here for the semi-finals. France had to see over Croatia, familiar opponents, the team they beat in the 2018 World Cup final, of course, did France. They beat them on penalties after a 2-2 draw over two legs, 5-4 on pens for Les Bleus there. So Spain take on France in that semi-final tomorrow night. But on this side of the draw, Germany had to overcome Italy in their quarter-final, winning by 5-4 over the two legs. And Portugal saw off Denmark in their quarter-final by 5-3 over the two legs. That's what leads us to tonight's fixture between Germany and Portugal. And of course, as we said before, Germany on home turf, of course, this time around. The new kind of system with the UEFA Nations League is that one country hosts the new finals format, of course, for the first time ever, a quarter-final stage of this competition after it was slightly expanded from the last edition, where it had been in previous editions just two semi-finals, whereas now it is quarter-finals, semi-finals, and then the final, as there's more tradition with international tournaments. But of course, these four teams that are in the semi-finals have already progressed past their quarter-final ties to get here, and they were two-legged quarter-final ties as well in the last international break, but only a one-legged semi-final. We play to a win tonight. We play to a result. Whoever gets the result tonight will be heading to that final on Sunday evening, which we will have live here on LFS for you. The two semi-finals and the live final, which we're so looking forward to, as the players are in the tunnel, so we will be getting underway very, very shortly. Here at 10 past 8 kickoff, remember, after adverse weather conditions has delayed the kickoff slightly, but we're not going to wait too long as the players are in the tunnel. And that man, Cristiano Ronaldo, leading his country out at the age of 40 now. Cristiano Ronaldo had tears in his eyes when Portugal were knocked out of the Euros last summer. Maybe feeling it was his last international campaign with his country. But still going strong is Ronaldo. Who knows what his future at the international level will hold. And we'll see if he can carry his team, or at least help them to get to victory this evening over the hosts, Germany. remember for you, we have that other semi-final tomorrow night between Spain and France. Looking forward to that one. That is coming up tomorrow evening for you. The reigning European champions Spain taking on France, the World Cup finalists of 2022 in Qatar, of course, where they were beaten by Argentina. That game takes place in the MHP Arena in Stuttgart, one of the actual host venues of last year's Euros, of course, along with the Allianz Arena, which was host to the Champions League final at the weekend just past. So a very busy last year or two here in Germany, full of international football and action from UEFA. Seemingly having Germany in their good books, UEFA, recently, with all the attention that the country's got in the international stage. And tonight we start again. Welcome into the chat, everybody joining us this evening. Do let us know who you're supporting tonight. A couple already involved. Bim says German. Tennis says, sorry Ronaldo, but the roots are German. Aman says, I think a draw. Well, we do have to play to a result tonight, so a draw in 90 minutes would lead us to extra time and penalties. Chip says, hello, I hope Portugal win today. And Asu says CR7 and another Portugal fan. Well, CR7 is leading his side out, as the two sides do walk down those famous steps inside the Allianz Arena in Munich and walk out onto the field, led by the referee tonight, Slavko Vincic from Slovenia. Germany in their home strip of black and white, and Portugal in their home strip of that red and green, which is tradition with the two countries, which is good to see they're wearing their home strips. Of course, a lot of controversy, a lot of talk about the futures of a lot of these players, and particularly on the German side of things, and we'll talk about that, and we'll get to that right throughout the evening. But a reminder for you that is the semi-finals tonight. The final is on Sunday. A reminder, that is the brackets. Right. Well, it does say a 8 kickoff, but I think we're hot-footing it to an early kickoff here. We'll have the team anthems as well in a moment, along with the lineups as well. So we'll get you the team news when we come back. We're going to take this quick break. Welcome back to Nations League Finals live from Germany. We're in Munich tonight as we watch the host Germany take on Portugal in our first of two semi-finals. Over the next 2 nights, we will see who can be crowned the winners of the Nations League. As I mentioned before, 3 of our 4 semi-finalists have won this competition before. Portugal were the inaugural winners. Then France took that crown off Portugal in the second edition. Then the third edition, the most recent edition, is of course obviously Spain, the European holders. They're winning everything at the moment, the European champions, and we'll see them in action tomorrow. But as I said, the one side out of our semi-finalists who haven't won this is Germany, and they'll want to change that this time around, as we have the national anthems inside the Munich Arena. The Munich Football Arena is what is it officially known to UEFA, but we know it as the Allianz Arena, the home of Bayern Munich Football Club, and the fans singing on to their anthem, the Portuguese national anthem there, and Cristiano Ronaldo singing on as ever. Right, Let's get you the team news for tonight's game then, as we will have kickoff in about 4 minutes' time. We're hot-footing it to the start of tonight's match. Let's get you the teams, and we'll start with Germany. And they start with a back three, which is quite interesting with under Julian Nagelsmann. Marc-Andre ter Stegen starts in goal tonight for them. Captain Joshua Kimmich is at right wing-back. A back three of Waldemar Anton, Jonathan Tah, Robin Koch and Maximilian Mittelstadt make up the defence. In midfield is Alexander Pavlovich alongside Leon Goretzka, with a further forward attacking line of Leroy Sané, Florian Wirtz, and leading the line tonight, Nick Woltermad. Leading the German line. On the bench, quite a lot of names on both benches tonight. 13 substitutes that Germany have named out of a possible 15 that they can name. Baumann, Nubel, Kehrer, Rom, Goossens, Nemetja, Gross, Adeyemi, Nabry, Ondrik, Bischoff, Undav and Fulkrug are on the bench for Nagelsmann's side tonight. For Portugal, who will look to come and spoil the German party tonight in Munich, they start with Diogo Costa in goal. A back four of João Neves at right back this evening. Ruben Dias and Gonzalo Inacio are the back two, the centre-back partnership, with Nuno Mendes, the Champions League winning Nuno Mendes, starting at left back. In midfield, Ruben Neves is alongside Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva, with a front three. On the right-hand side, Francisco Trincao. On the left-hand side, Pedro Neto. And, of course, leading the line is Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo and captaining Portugal this evening. Who else but Cristiano Ronaldo? On the bench for Portugal tonight, Sá, Rui Silva, Antonio Silva, Diogo Dalot, Renato Veiga, Semedo, Conceição, Moura, Vitinha, Leao, Palhinha, Jota, Felix, Ramos and Goncalves. So it is Germany against Portugal in our first of two Nations League semi-finals. We're at the Munich Arena and we have kickoff next. Welcome in to you watching us this evening for this one. Germany against Portugal. Looking forward to this one. Can Germany do it? Can they get to the final in their home country? That's what they failed to do in the European Championships last year when they were knocked out in the knockouts. Portugal couldn't reach the final either, but they will hope that they can claim their second win in this competition after winning the first ever Nations League. They'll be hoping they can send off their captain seemingly with a massive tournament victory, and we hope that they can. But we'll wait and see what comes of tonight's game as the names are being read out. Of course, Roberto Martinez couldn't really do it with Belgium. Can he change that factor with Portugal? We will see if he can do that with Portugal tonight. This evening. Jonathan, welcome in. I'm doing very well. How are you? This game will be interesting. Say 2-2. Expecting it to go to extra time penalties, possibly. Looking forward to it this evening. Oscar loves cheese. There you go. Don't know if you were interested in that, but Oscar loves cheese. There you go. Jesus God. Well, I gotta say, I was really looking forward to this. I think Amazon Prime have absolutely taken a liberty in the UK and forcing you to do a pay-per-view to watch these games, and single game pay-per-view, so it's a little bit sleazy, little bit sneaky from Amazon Prime Video, but we move. We're here to deliver the content for you guys, and don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. We've just hit 27,000 subscribers, I think today or yesterday. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it so much, and it's great to have you with us tonight for this one. Germany in their home strip, white shirts, black shorts, and Portugal in their home strip as well of red shirts and green shorts this evening. As I said, Slavko Vincic, our referee, and he gets us underway 10 minutes after initially meant to, but weather has its call, and we will be getting underway now for this one. The UEFA Nations League finals, two semi-finals that lead to the final on Sunday. Only one winner out of 4 remaining sides. It's a lot of the same characters, a lot of the same kind of suspects at this stage of these competitions. But once again, who can claim victory? It's been Spain and France that have been the shining light of Europe over the last number of years. But can one of these two teams put their name back in the mix? The 2014 World Cup winners and the 2016 Euros winners. Their names have been out of the scene for a good number of competitions, but we will see if whether one of those two can change that. Of course, one of them will be in the final. We know that for certain, of course. Jonathan says, you're doing World Cup matches. We're doing the Club World Cup. Yes, we are indeed. We're doing over 30 games in the Club World Cup, so do look forward to it over this summer. Starts on the 15th, Sunday the 15th. I gotta say, I love a tournament. I absolutely love a tournament. If you didn't realise from the Euros last year, I absolutely adore a tournament, and there's just nothing quite like it. There's just nothing quite like it. And it's going to be a different format, but I'm looking forward to seeing some new teams, some teams that I've never kind of watched before, and a lot of our European favourites. Here is Pedro Neto off the left-hand side for Portugal. Whips it into the box and headed behind by Alexander Pavlovic for a Portugal corner. And that's the threat that Pedro Neto has. And he's already tried to unleash it down that left-hand side for Portugal. And Pavlovic has to deal with it and put it behind for the corner early in this one. Of course, Roberto Martinez, as I said, created Belgium, made them the best ranked side in the world. Can he do the same with Portugal? Bruno Fernandes to take this corner. Left-hand side, right-footed. Lifted across and headed away by Robin Koch. And then the follow-up header from distance is well wide by Trincao. And it goes for a goal kick. What British clubs are in it? There's only two English teams in the Club World Cup, Jonathan. It's Chelsea and Manchester City are in it. Because they're the most two recent English winners of the Champions League, I think that's why. It's confusing. There's a lot of weird ways. I mean, it's crazy how, like, Barcelona, Liverpool aren't in it. But that's the rules. That's the way FIFA have worked it out. I mean, I'm not complaining as a Liverpool fan. I'm not complaining we get the summer off. But who knows? Here's Pavlovic for Germany. Out to the left-hand side. Here's Wirtz. Wirtz with a chip ball in. Back post. The head back across. The shot is straight down the throat of Diogo Costa. It was Leon Goretzka that had the toe-poked effort. But that was a lovely ball by Florian Wirtz. And switched back across by Joshua Kimmich. And it was Leon Goretzka in the middle that just couldn't put the power behind it. And Diogo Costa had cover and got his hands to it. That was much better. Lovely from Germany. Florian Wirtz, of course, hotly linked and very close to joining Liverpool. And obviously, a lot of the talk this week that the deal is all but done. It's between the two clubs to decide the fee now. So Florian Wirtz, almost 100%, 99.9%. The reports are suggesting that it is done. 99.9% done, so we'll wait and see. Here is Ruben Dias to João Neves, who's playing out in that right wing or that right back position tonight. Dias chips it forward, finding the runner of Trincao, trying to dribble his way through here. Gets the ball across, but it goes straight down and into the hands of Ter Stegen. Yeah, it was good work by Portugal there on that right-hand side and tried to get the ball into the box, did Bruno Fernandes, and it was nicely caught and gathered by Ter Stegen. Nice idea from Portugal. One to keep a real close eye on. Here's Robin Koch. Out wide it goes to Anton. Now Mittelstadt. Back to Anton again. And now inside to Robin Koch, who's taken up that central role of a back three for Germany tonight. Former Leeds man, of course, Robin Koch. Of course, at Eintracht Frankfurt now. Starts at centre-back for Germany tonight, alongside another man who's been hotly linked with moves away from Bayer Leverkusen, Jonathan Tah, who's all but at Bayern Munich. Here's Fluffy and Weerts. Closed off the ball. Nicely won back by Portugal, but the chip ball over the top by Ruben Neves was going nowhere. And easily retrieved by Ter Stegen. A chip ball by Germany this time, and Portugal should have that one covered. Oh, a little bit heavy. It's nicely mopped up and dealt with by Inacio. Dribbles it forward, and it's actually dropped nicely here for Pedro Neto to get on his bike and charge down that left-hand side. He's got Ronaldo as an option. Neto across, bobbling to Cristiano Ronaldo. But he hit it with his left foot straight at Ter Stegen. I'm sure he's had that moment in his mind many's a time before. Back in the Real Madrid days of hitting it straight at Ter Stegen. He just didn't catch it right. Cristiano Ronaldo just kind of sliced it with his left foot. Didn't really get the power behind it. But again, it was good work from Pedro Neto, bursting pace down that left-hand side. And the ball in, held up well for Ronaldo. Just couldn't find the finish. Yes, indeed, Marky. Yeah, it's not an easy name for you to say. Robin Koch. K-O-C-H. I'm not going to say it in my own accent because that would be slightly offensive, but we're not going there. As Weerts was brought down in the middle by Ruben Neves. And Slavko Vincic saw no issue. John says UEFA World Football went mad because of the Super League. Super League happening now this summer. Well, in a sense, FIFA and UEFA had to kind of respond to what was happening and respond to the demands, and I don't think that's completely wrong. You know, if clubs are not happy, and I'm not advocating for the top and the elites in football, not a chance, but you know, UEFA and FIFA knew it wasn't going to go away unless they fix something themselves. So if this appeases the teams and keeps them happy once every 4 years, who's crying about it, really? That's what I say. But then again, it all comes through your kind of performances in recent competitions as well. It's fascinating. I mean, I've no idea how they figure it out, but they figure it out some way. Bernardo Silva. Back to Inacio. Out wide here to Nuno Mendes, of course the European champion with PSG now. I'll have very fond memories, Nuno Mendes, of this stadium just 4 days ago. What a night it was for PSG. Oh, a little bit risky there from Ta. Good press by Portugal. It was Bernardo Silva. Now to Bruno Fernandes. They're winning it high, Portugal. They're pressing really intently, and Germany are struggling to play out from the back with that press. That was a lovely give and go. And it was Nuno Mendes that was breaking forward, but Germany scrambling to win the ball back, and it was Joshua Kimmich that was caught by Nuno Mendes, and that will be a free kick to Germany. Slavko Vincic trying to take control of this game. It just seems like Portugal just a little bit more physical at the moment, and Germany struggling to fend off that pressure and that intensity of Roberto Martinez's side. Palma with a 99, I don't even know what that is. Is that Canadian cents? I'm guessing so. But thank you very much indeed. Weerts with a lovely control of the ball. Drifting it back though to Koch. And back again, it comes to Ter Stegen. Finding Ta with a little bit of space now. Pavlovic. Wide it goes to Anton. Now Weerts. Again. Every time Germany try and move the ball, Portugal, so many Portuguese bodies in red surrounding them with that intense press. Just not moving it quick enough. Are the Germans, this early stage, struggling. Got the ball wide here. Chipped early, looking for the attackers. Nicely picked up by Goretzka, but then stolen away in the middle. And now Neto's away again for Portugal. He's got Ronaldo as an option again. Neto goes himself, and he doesn't go far away, as it just goes over the crossbar. But that pace on the counter-attack is destroying Germany. And it was Pavlovic who tried to keep a hold of it after a really heavy pass in the middle. And then stealing it away was Pedro Neto and bursting on the counter-attack. And he just couldn't keep the shot down. But Julian Nagelsmann not happy with his side in the first 11 minutes here, because they are really being strangled by Portugal. Mittelstadt works it back inside again to Pavlovic. Right, wide to Anton. Chips it forward. Again, can't hold it up again, Germany. And look at the transition. Ronaldo lays it off and flicked over the top by Bernardo Silva. Neto's going away. He's got past his defender, but it's caught by Ter Stegen, and I think there was a foul anyway by Pedro Neto. My goodness me. It is time and time again. Germany get the ball wide. They try and chip it towards the centre forward who can't hold it up. And then in transition, Portugal are carving them open. Such an overload. That's a nice ball drifted wide to Mittelstadt this time. But this time he's offside. Maximilian Mittelstadt. And that's going to be a free kick to Portugal. The first time they get a bit of space in that left wing, Mittelstadt can't hold his run and he's offside. And João Neves knows it, sees it, and isn't too worried about it. Samuel says, I have a double bet on for 90 pence for tonight's game, and tomorrow night's 3-1 Germany and 2-1 France. Well, at the moment, looks like Portugal are the side that are starting the better of these two. That doesn't mean Germany can't find their way into the game. They have more than enough attacking threat. They just can't handle the pressing of Portugal at the moment. They need to make quicker passes and more incisive play. That was better. Here's Wirtz, dropping a little deeper to help out with the passing. Plays it onto Goretzka. Drifted out wide. Flicked across the box. Low and hard and cleared away. That was much better, and it was well held up by Wirtz and then played onto Goretzka. It's kept alive. Here's Wirtz again. 1-2 with Sane. Inside it goes to Pavlovic. Just set out wide. Mittelstadt here, holding the width. Cuts it back to Anton, who goes low with a cross. And again cleared away by Ruben Dias. And then the foul by Leroy Sané on Bruno Fernandes will get Portugal a little bit of a reprieve. That was a little bit better from Germany. They moved the ball from side to side a lot quicker. A lot more incisive with their passing between the lines and waiting to get it out wide when they're in the final third. And on 2 occasions they got the cross in, although eagerly dealt with and simply dealt with by the Portuguese defence. But at least they were getting towards the final third, Germany. Free kick taken short by Portugal. Mendes. Lovely little give and go. That's a beautiful run. And here's Cristiano Ronaldo is through. He's drifted a little bit wide. Has he got options? He does. He might want to go himself. And deflection takes it wide. And it will be a corner to Portugal. Or are they just given a goal kick? They have. Well, that looked all the way in the world that would have been a corner. But Ronaldo was incessant. But the officials were clear. They thought it was a goal kick, and that's what was given. Again, that touch. I think it was Trincao with a touch, but he chested it round a man. And it opened up an acre of space. And Ronaldo just drifted a little bit wide with the ball. And then tried to cut back inside. And I could have swore it was a deflection on his eventual shot from Cristiano Ronaldo, but the officials didn't see that. Well, they certainly didn't think it was. And again, Germany hamper the possession. As their centre forward Voldemare can't hold it up. One back though by poor Passing, that's a lovely flick by Kimmich. Kimmich wide, chips it across the box. Too high for Weerts. And hooked away by Portugal again. And I think they're going to get a free kick here as there was a defender down in the box. He's quickly back up to his feet, but Slavkovincic, referee again. Yeah, that was a definite deflection. I mean, there's no question about that. That has got to be a corner. I mean, I don't know how they missed that deflection, the officials. That is shocking. That's a shocking, visual. I mean, it's clear. It deflects that much, it curls around the rest of the defenders. Long clearance by Diogo Costa. Second ball brought down by Bernardo Silva. Bruno Fernandes. Silva again. They're just passing it around now, Portugal. Oh, a little bit loose that from João Neves on that side. And Ruben Dias is going to be penalised for a little step in. Maybe was a little bit silly from him. I've got to say, the bright spark for Germany so far has been Florian Wirtz. He's been getting a lot of the creativity in between the lines, finding those gaps, finding those spaces, and playing the right passes in the right moments for Germany. Tense press again as Germany play it round the back. Nicely taken by Joshua Kimmich. Again, Wirtz tries to swing it round the corner. Nicely blocked though by Nuno Mendes, but it will be a Germany throw. They just need to settle a little bit more, Germany. Get more comfortable with their passing game, and they can be a threat, there's no doubt. But that intense press of Portugal is something to really try and get to grips with early doors. That was nicely worked in between the lines there. Pavlovic gets it off to Anton now, down the left-hand side, lays it out wide to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt on the left wing, cuts it back inside to Wirtz. Body's in the middle. Wirtz chops onto his right foot, back onto his left. Dancing around the edge of the box, lays it off to Pavlovic. Rolls it through, nicely held. Back to Alexander Pavlovic, who's brought down. And the follow-up! Oh, is hit wide and deflected. And I think it was Voldemari that had the opportunity. The referee says no penalty. Germany were claiming for a penalty. The captain, Joshua Kimmich, is there. And the VAR this evening, Alan Borashak from Slovenia, will watch this one. We'll see it again. Nicely held up as Pavlovic that went over. It was Inacio that was on the scene. Yeah, that's not a penalty. That's a dive from Alexander Pavlovic, if anything, there. And then Voldemari, the ball fell to him, and he had the shot, and it was nicely saved by Diogo Costa and parried wide after all that little bit of drama, but it was certainly not a penalty. It will be a corner to Germany on this right-hand side. Much better movement in between the lines. So much better. And now they have their first corner of the evening. Joshua Kimmich on this right-hand side to take. And no penalty is confirmed by the VAR. Yeah, it was definitely not a penalty. There was no contact from Gonzalo Inacio whatsoever. Alexander Pavlovic knew there was no contact and he went down far too easily. A dive, basically. Joshua Kimmich with this corner then for Germany. Right hand side, right footed, out swinger. Hooked away at the near post by Ronaldo, who was in there and doing his defensive duties. The Portuguese captain, but it will be a Germany throw down this right side as they pass it all the way back to Ter Stegen. Starting to see a little bit more from the Germans. Joshua Kimmich, nice work, linking up with Goretzka. Now, Voldemare can't really get the shot off well again. It's cleared away by Portugal, but again, one back by Pavlovic, gets it out wide to Kimmich. Joshua Kimmich curls it back into the box. Headed away again, but not very far as Germany keep the pressure on here. Sane Charging into the box. Leroy Sané onto his left foot. Rolls it back across the shot. Good save by Costa. From Leon Goretzka. Denied once, denied twice, Leon Goretzka. And that was a massive save by Diogo Costa. And all of a sudden, Germany have come alive. And Portugal are the ones that cannot deal with Germany. And that passage of play from Germany was scintillating. And certainly their best of the game so far. And it ended with a very good save from Diogo Costa. From a Leon Goretzka shot. And now it will lead to a German corner, of which Joshua Kimmich will take from this left-hand side. Will be an in-swinging corner this time. There's no lack of targets in there. Right-footed, Kimmich whips it in. Header is very well wide from Waldemar Anton, who couldn't get it anywhere near the target. It was a good delivery by Joshua Kimmich, but in the end, the header was left a lot to be desired, shall we say. But look at this save from Diogo Costa. Fabulous reactions. And Leon Goretzka, who's had two very good chances so far for Germany, has had both shots saved by Diogo Costa. Again, in their movement in between the lines, Germany has massively improved since the early moments. And they're winning second balls, they're winning every little challenge now. And it's Portugal that are struggling to get onto the ball in these last few minutes. Here's Flochy and Wirtz. Has to switch it back to Anton, who goes all the way back to Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen chips it forward. The header won by Goretzka, flicked on by Wirtz. Couldn't quite find Voldemar. Tar keeps it alive in the air, but a head tennis at the moment between the two sets of players. But that header from João Neves was certainly not the impressive one that went straight out of play for a German throw. Wirtz held onto the ball well. Linking up now is Sané. Drifting between the lines, Leroy Sané lays it out wide to Mittelstadt. Looking for the cross. Good block by João Neves. Again, the German pressure. Too much for Portugal to deal with as they try and scramble it away now. Neves has to return it back to his keeper and recycle it. Well, both managers have seen their sides be on top, but also under a lot of pressure in the first half of this semi-final. And it's Germany who have been the better performing side, certainly in the last 5 minutes. Portugal need to get back to controlling the ball, being more threatening with the ball. Germany have certainly grown into the game and slowed that electric start that Portugal had. Still no damage to either defence. Still Germany 0, Portugal 0. After 24 minutes here in the Allianz Arena in Munich. Of course, the game was delayed by 10 minutes due to weather conditions, so we were 10 minutes behind originally the planned schedule. It's better from Portugal, playing it across the ground. Ball overrun Nuno Mendes, but he had help with Pedro Neto. And Fernandes swings it out wide. Look at the space for Trincao. Takes it down. Has to cut it back inside to Bernardo Silva. Now Neves. Bernardo Silva has to go backwards to Inacio now. Nice turn from Nuno Mendes. He's got space to break there. Finds into Ronaldo. Back to Mendes, who couldn't keep a hold of it. And the ball retrieved back to Ter Stegen. Oh, not the best of clearances though. A little bit awkward from Ter Stegen. And he puts his own team in a little bit of bother. And Joshua Kimmich can't rescue the ball. Out for a Portugal throw. A little bit frantic at times. Just when one side think they've recovered the ball. Stolen right back again as that throw in from Portugal. Well blocked by Leon Goretzka. Will be a corner. The end of which the Portuguese fans reside is where this corner will be taken from. been a good ebb and flow of this match so far. Very competitive between these two sides. Bruno Fernandes will take this corner for Portugal. Their second corner of the game. Right-footed, round to the back post. Flicked away from danger by Leroy Sané, but not very far. Neves with the left foot delivery round the back post, kept alive by Diaz. Oh, and the defensive header from Joshua Kimmich could have been awkward, but Ter Stegen held on to it well. And now Kimmich has space to get away here. Germany want to head on the break. Voldemade just couldn't keep a hold of the ball again, had the ball stolen from him. As Wirtz challenges to win it back from the slip. On the spin, Florian Wirtz. Nice little turn away and gives it back to Goretzka. Again, both sides have got really good passing moments in this game. And they both can be a threat on the counter. They're very well matched at the moment, these two. Very well matched. That's why we sit where we do after 27 minutes without a goal. 5 shots to 4 in Germany's favour. Germany with 3 of those 5 shots on target. Diogo Costa made a couple of good saves early doors. Just the 1 shot on target from Portugal. And that one of Ronaldo that was kind of toe poked into the hands of Ter Stegen. Certainly the German centre forward Nick Voldemade, his effort that was saved by Costa from a little bit of a scramble in the Portuguese box is probably the best chance of the game so far. It's Germany certainly made the most of their attacking displays so far in this one. Not able to find the net, but certainly testing the opposition goalkeeper more than Portugal are at this moment in time. But a long way to go. As that Portuguese possession finds its way all the way back to Ter Stegen again, which is a little bit wasteful. Well, Germany have won 11 of the 19 head-to-heads between these two over the years. Their most recent meeting between the two sides came in the 2021 Euros, when Germany won by 4-2 in the group stages of that Euros. That was, of course, all across Europe, that European Championships. Here come Germany now, working it into the box, close to Wirtz, but cleared away. And Voldemade was also in the middle. Portugal scrambling it away again. It's when Germany get the ball wide, that's when they can be a major threat. And here they get it wide down the right side with Sané. Cuts back inside to Kimmich, and now Pavlovic on the turn. Lays it out wide to Sané again. Rolls it off to Joshua Kimmich. Round the corner to Leroy Sané. They've done that many's a time. Sané onto his left. Rolls it back. Pavlovic! Shot charged down. And Portugal want to break away, but again, just chips it out wide. And Kimmich cannot keep the ball in play. Something that led to so much promise came crashing down with a poor pass. Just too much verve on it from Jonathan Tah. And Joshua Kimmich just cannot keep it in play. And his frustration evident. But Germany, when they do get the ball wide, they can be a massive threat. And they already have been to this Portuguese side. Started really well, but have kind of faltered a little bit since Germany have taken more confidence in their own play. Nicely taken down by Joshua Kimmich from, again, a poor spell of possession from Portugal. Just not passing it around swiftly enough. Well, Germany are unbeaten against Portugal. Have actually won all of the last 5 meetings between the sides, dating back to June 2000 was the last time Portugal claimed a victory over the Germans in a UEFA competition, or actually in any international competition. and that was a 3-0 win back in the 2000 Euros. In the 5 international tournaments that they've met since, Germany have won all 5 meetings, 2 of which, by 1 goal, including the 2014 World Cup, in which Germany won that tournament in Brazil, and they beat Portugal by 4-0 in that one. Certainly a lot of history between the sides, no doubt about that. Ball all the way back here with Costa. The referee this evening, Slavko Vincic, will be of clearer memory to the Portugal fans and the Portugal players, because he refereed their quarter-final against Denmark, a 5-2 victory over Denmark in that the Nations League quarter-final back in March. So maybe that will be a good omen. But the last German game that Slavko Vincic managed, or refereed, sorry, was back in October in the Nations League as well. That was in the earlier stages of the competition with in Germany's 1-0 win over the Netherlands. So both sides have firm promise of this referee, as here's Neto breaking away for Portugal. Gets it into the box, Pedro Neto. Very well blocked and very well stopped by the German defence. It was on the verge of a penalty, but it wasn't enough. And Pedro Neto was stopped at the very last second. Oh, a little bit loose from Pavlovic. Not able to get it very far clear. Again, a little bit sloppy from Portugal again, giving it away cheaply. And now Germany on the break here with Leroy Sané flooding bodies forward. Sané trying to roll it through, but far too much on that one. And that was nowhere to be found, and out the other end for a goal kick. See this from Neto again. He steps across, and that's a fabulous bit of defending, I gotta say, from Robin Koch. You think he's beaten. Neto chops him onto his right foot, but Koch does so well, intercepts it at the perfect time. Fabulous challenge. And he gets that one wrong. It's either a penalty or a very good clear chance at goal for Pedro Neto. So it was a must-win challenge, and he did it to perfection. The German number 3. Again, both sides have their sloppy moments from tonight's game so far. Mittelstadt nicely held on to, and Voldemade was brought down as he tried to spin on the ball, and he was taken down by Ruben Neves. That will be a German free kick here. Yeah, Voldemade absolutely trailed back by the grip of his shirt there, did Ruben Neves. It's a pretty simple decision for the referee. Just over 10 minutes to go with the first half here in Munich. Germany 0, Portugal 0. Another set piece for the hosts. Florian Wirtz and Joshua Kimmich are over it. Let's see what they can offer from this long range out. It's from the edge of the centre circle, so it's a very long distance out here, and Portugal have set up a very high defensive line. It's taken, and running with it is Florian Wirtz, dribbling it out wide, and a little bit of a muddle up there from Germany as Mittelstadt couldn't keep it in play, and it goes out for a goal kick. I mean, that had promise, but the execution of it was quite dreadful, if I'm honest. Florian Wirtz rolled it on, dribbled it down the side. He bobbled it a bit towards Mittelstadt. He couldn't keep it in play, scrambling to keep it in, and it had already gone for a goal kick. I mean, it's a little bit sloppy from Germany there. Again, had promise, decent idea, but again, very poorly executed. I've got to say, we can't be too harsh to these players because they've had long, grueling seasons, and, you know, some of them are currently more focused on where their summer holidays are going to be, where they're going to jet off to after this tournament, rather than thinking about the nitty-gritty of this game. I'm not saying that either side are not fully focused, but what I am saying is it will be not too unaccustomed to both sides just not being at their level tonight. There's so much capability in both sets of teams, both sets of players. The execution's just been a little bit lacking at times, but there's some quality chances. Certainly more on the German side than the Portuguese side at this moment in time. It's Germany passing it around, waiting for their opportunity. Mittelstadt there did well with a header. Actually trying to link it up with Voldemada, but the return ball is just a little bit short. And it allows Portugal back into the game and back into possession once more. Well, the man who's come the closest to finding the net tonight, and that is the German Voldemada. He has come the closest of the two sides to finding the net tonight in this one, and he has never scored for the national side. Just 23 years old, making his first ever start tonight, and never find the net, so he could have had his debut goal for his country in a semi-final. He's come very close. The other man who's been hotly invested in the attacking of Germany this evening, Leon Goretzka, who's had 2 shots on target. He has 15 international goals in his 57 previous caps. He certainly has a goal threat himself, does Leon Goretzka, a 30-year-old. He's got 1 goal in the Nations League this season from 2 previous appearances. This campaign, in this competition, it's Leon Goretzka. Tried the switch ball there towards Leroy Sané. And it was well defended by Bruno Fernandes, who was covering in that position, and that's gone out for a throw-in. Gary says you need a CWC league. If you could elaborate, unless I'm dumb, I don't know what that means. A little bit confused. Unless you're saying that they need like instead of a tournament, a league for the Club World Cup. Is that what you're referencing? We'll talk more about the Club World Cup actually at half time, because we'll have explain things to you and understand it, because it is being hosted in the US, of course, the USA, this summer, and obviously living in the UK and in Ireland. It is sometimes a tricky time zone at the US, but we'll see how it pans out. We'll let you know what's all to come. We'll talk about it a bit more at half time. Here's Wirtz. Oh, Bruno Fernandes thought he was caught there. The referee didn't see an issue. I mean, Bernardo Silva and Pedro Neto quite quickly over to their teammates' rescue here, but Florian Wirtz is trundling over to make sure that Bruno Fernandes is okay. He was the one. Oh, yeah, he's a little bit late there, Florian Wirtz. Doesn't get the ball and kind of stubs a little bit inadvertently onto the foot of Bruno Fernandes. It's, if anything, a foul and a yellow card, but just a little bit late from Florian Wirtz. Might have just got away with that one. Well, they were certainly incessant on that. Fernandez still receiving a little bit of that magic spray at the moment. Gary says, Club World Cup League for your channel. Yes. Now I'm even more confused. I'm sorry, unless I'm really dumb. I'm probably really dumb. That's probably what it is. 4 minutes of this first half to go. Neither side have found the net yet. But I do expect that to be changing very shortly. I do expect that to change. Got to say, Florian Wirtz is a bit lucky there. We've seen that challenge again. I mean, it's not that he was in any way kind of malicious or he led with the studs or anything like that. It was nothing dangerous, but it's just a little bit late from him. He did stand on the foot of Bruno Fernandes, but he was making a genuine attempt for the ball, and I'm surprised the referee didn't give a foul at least, but it's resolved and we're back underway, and Bruno Fernandes, who received treatment, is actually now back onto the field right away, so no big delay, no big drama about it in the end. Joshua Kimmich looking for the wide option again. Mittelstadt chests it down, looking for the switch ball out to the other side. Nicely flicked by Pavlovic to Joshua Kimmich, who drifts it back across to Leroy Sané. Feeds it out wide to Wirtz. Wirtz dribbling into the box. Florian Wirtz hits it straight at the goalkeeper. Got a whip on it with his right foot, but easy gather for Diogo Costa. Again, better movement from Germany. Better passing, but Bruno Fernandes is in a little bit of bother. He's not in a great way. He's a little bit hobbling about a little bit at the moment, as there's going to be a foul on Mittelstadt here, which the Portuguese players are complaining about. Ruben Neves is claiming innocence. There's now a number of the Portuguese players surrounding the referee not happy that this was given. I mean, there's nothing in a foul there at all. I mean, he heads the ball. Ruben Neves heads the ball into the face of Mittelstadt. It's definitely not a foul. Has the referee maybe just given it as a drop ball, maybe? I think he has, but yeah, he's going to give it an uncontested drop ball. It's not a foul. I think he probably had to check upon the well-being of Maximilian Mittelstadt there, as the ball did hit his head. But I think the Portuguese players, for a second, thought he was giving a free kick there, the referee. And they were ready to really kick off, because that was in no way a free kick. But he didn't give the free kick, and we play on. Less than 90 seconds of the first half to go. A little bit stop-start in the last few minutes. The game really hasn't flowed the last 5 to 10 minutes. It's made it a little bit stickier. Neither side really able to impose themselves too much recently in this one. But again, once again, it looks like Germany are the more threatening of the two sides at the moment. That's a little bit sloppy from Florian Wirtz, though. Tried to play it first time onto Leroy Sané. Just massively overhit it. You can certainly see a little bit of fatigue from both sets of players tonight. The determination to win is certainly there. Here's João Neves. Back to Ruben Dias. And now gives it back across to Gonçalo Inácio. Ronaldo coming much deeper to get a touch on the ball. Neto. Goes back to Nuno Mendes. Inácio gets rid of it quickly. Goretzka was pressing. Portugal keeping it around about the back at the moment here with Ruben Dias. Down the channel to João Neves. And down the line it goes to Bruno Fernandes, who tried to get it across to Trincao, but Germany had cover and got it clear of danger. 1 minute of additional time at the end of the first half, so not much to say about that really in the first half, and we're almost through that first minute and one and only minute of the first half remaining. Here's a bit of room though for Trincao, finding Pedro Neto. Trying to curl it towards the box, but comfortably headed away by Jonathan Tah. I think that might just be the end of the first half. It is. No time to take the throw in from Portugal. And after 45 minutes of football inside the Allianz Arena tonight, it is Germany and Portugal that are locked at 0-0. Both sides have had chances. Probably Germany certainly with the better of the chances in that first half when Voldemada had his effort parried wide by Diogo Costa. A couple of Leon Goretzka shots as well. And Ronaldo had a little bit of a simple one saved in the end by Ter Stegen. Both sides have had chances, but sloppiness in the final third is but letting both sides down at the break. It's Germany 0, Portugal 0. Welcome back to the Nations League finals live here on LFS this evening for our first of two semi-finals across this midweek of this Nations League campaign. And at half-time it's Germany 0, Portugal 0 between the two sides, as I said. A first half with both sides having their opportunities, but neither side able to take those opportunities in that first half. And as I said, a little bit of sloppiness from both teams, probably mostly towards the end of that first half, really, than anything else. I think neither side in the final 15 minutes of that first half were able to really grab a hold of the game or majorly take any or create any really good chances. But I have to say, Germany, for me so far, despite starting a little bit slow and a little bit kind of off the pace with that press from Portugal, so intense in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the game, as they grew into the game, Germany, they certainly became the more controlling side, and certainly the side that had a lot more of the chances and a lot more threat with their opportunities in the final third. And certainly, as I said, come the closest to finding the back of the net so far. I think Portugal, with that intensity in the press, when kind of Germany couldn't handle it, they were having so much more of a threat because they were winning the ball back in higher areas and being more threatening with it. But with Germany having a little bit more kind of control over their own play and a little bit more comfort with their own passing and kind of moving a little bit more sharply as the half went on, Germany, it just seemed like Portugal's kind of threat disintegrated a little bit as the half went on. But one player out of all of the Portuguese players in that first half that can take a lot of credit for his work rate in that first half, no doubt, and the threat that he created for his team in that first half was, of course, Pedro Neto down that left-hand side. And then very early in the game, that's where a lot of Portugal's threat came from, down that left channel, when it was Pedro Neto breaking away. And his pace can beat nearly all defenders on the world, because he has got blistering pace down that left side. And he got in once or twice. He actually had probably Portugal's best opportunity of the game that didn't end up leading to a shot on target or a shot, but their best kind of one-on-one moment, in a way, of the game when he had Robin Koch for company. And Robin Koch made a very, very good challenge in the box, but Neto got charging away from kind of the German defence and almost got a good opportunity, but we see that opportunity for Ronaldo again that was easily caught by Ter Stegen. It wasn't major pace behind it from Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, there was one a little later on that he could have been really a bit annoyed about, that the fact that it wasn't given as a corner when he had a shot deflected wide. But again, Neto certainly the major threat. If Portugal are going to get find the back of the net and certainly have a lot more attacking potency in the final third in the second half, I think Pedro Neto will be the key to unlocking that. And again, we see another chance from, again, in transition, bursting away to Neto. And this, I think, might be the chance. Or no, this is the one he shoots over the bar. But he's certainly got a lot of pace on the counter. And early in the game, that's where Portugal were getting their best chances out of. And probably their best chances overall in the first half came from good play from Pedro Neto on the breakaway. But again, lacking output, lacking that clinical edge in the final third, and just not able to really take much out of their chances for Portugal. In terms of Germany, as I said, I think they probably had the better of the chances in that first half. I think they were more threatening. Their movement was better in the final third. They were moving the ball in and around the box a lot better. Their intricate play, once they got it working and moving and got in rhythm with their attacking play, they were blistering it about, popping it about. Lovely football from Germany, but in the end, again, just some good saves from Diogo Costa, but also some sloppy moments from Germany have let them down in that first half as well. But as I said, their best chance, this is a lovely bit of play between Voldemada and Pavlovic. And then as Pavlovic went down, it was never a penalty. But what Voldemada does so well is he doesn't allow the chance to go begging. He sees the ball falling into a free space. He's playing to the whistle. He has that shot, and it's a very, very good save by Diogo Costa. Very good save to parry it wide. And it was a very good chance for Voldemada, but in the end, and it was never a penalty on Alexander Pavlovic. I mean, who is he kidding? He just bundles over. It's never a penalty. It's no contact at all from Gonzalo Inacio, and definitely not a penalty, but a very, very good move from Germany on that occasion. Just a give and go between Pavlovic and Voldemada. We've seen them try it a lot in the first half, Germany, trying to hold it up with their centre forward Voldemada, but a lot of missed chances, a lot of failure in that area of him holding it up and spinning and allowing other players to come into play. And I think they haven't done it consistently enough. If they get that on a more consistent basis in the second half, Germany, they can be incredibly threatening, because they've got the quality, they've got the players, and they've got the runners off the centre forward that can finish as well. I mean, there's no doubt that if Germany get that one little thing right, I think they can be more threatening in the second half, even more than what they were in the first. And, you know, I mean, Portugal only had one shot on target in that first half, and that was that Ronaldo effort that was straight at the goalkeeper for Ter Stegen, which was simply saved. Germany had 4 shots on target from their 7 shots in that first half, so they were creating more, and they were being more clinical when they got towards the final third and being more accurate in the final third. Germany in that first half, they had more possession at 59 to 41% in Germany's favour in terms of the possession in the first half of the game. 2 corners apiece, 4 big saves from Diogo Costa. He's made 4 saves in that first half, just the one from Ter Stegen, of course. So certainly Diogo Costa the busier of the 2 goalkeepers, and no doubting about that. And as I said, Germany being the more threatening side. But as I said, neither side able to take their chances. And in a big game, in a big semi-final, that's maybe what's hampered these 2 sides in kind of European competition and in international competitions over the years. Their failure to get themselves over the line and to get the job done in the big moments. And semi-finals are what that's all about. And I think tomorrow night will be probably the exact opposite of that. 2 sides who know how to get their way through a tournament and how to win a tournament. Of course, Spain and France tomorrow. But tonight, it's these 2 in recent years that have just failed to get themselves over the line and find a way through that hurdle when the game is maybe not the crispest or maybe not the most sharpness between the two teams. It's just finding those little margins, those fine margins in a game. Those big chances, just taking one of those big chances can mean a world of difference. And at the moment, neither side taking those, and Portugal struggling a little bit towards the end of that first half. Right, we are about 5 minutes away from the second half, getting underway at the Allianz Arena here in Munich. Quick look at the brackets. So this is a reminder for you that Germany and Portugal came through past Italy and Denmark in their respective quarterfinals to meet in this semi-final. Spain played off Netherlands from a penalty shootout, beating them in a shootout, and France beating Croatia in a penalty shootout to progress to their respective semi-final, which you can have watch live here tomorrow night. The watch-along commentary of that one, Spain against France from Stuttgart. That's tomorrow, 8 o'clock kickoff here on LFS. Right, so that's where we stand at half-time, and a lot needs to be done for both teams. I think there is more to be found, certainly from both teams after that first half, and I think Germany have a lot more promise from their first half. I think they'll have a lot less to talk about at half-time. I think they're doing the right things, and they're doing them well at the moment. It's just when they get to the final third, the keeper's either made a good save or they've not made as much of the shot as they could have, but it's promising for Germany. For Portugal, I think they do just need to get the ball down a little bit more and get it to the players that will cause a threat. Your Bruno Fernandes and maybe get it more towards Pedro Neto on that left-hand side and see what he can do down that side up against the defence. Maybe with Joshua Kimmich coming a little bit further forward and Jonathan Tah looking a little bit clumsy at the moment, those two. Maybe there is options there down that side of which Portugal can try and exploit, but I'm sure Roberto Martinez will be informing his side quite efficiently at half-time, of course. And we'll see what way they come out in the second half. Germany against Portugal, 0-0 at the break. And we'll see how they do. Saber says, what's Sane been like? Need him to have a shot for a bet builder. He's been involved in the link-up. I think Leroy Sané's come inside a lot in that first half. A couple of times he's been on the outside, on the wing. But it's been a lot of Joshua Kimmich down that side in the wing-back role. A lot of the wing-backs in Mittelstadt on the left and Joshua Kimmich on the right for Germany have been occupying the wings. So Sané's been in a more inside pocket as the winger. And he's kind of been more involved in the build-up play. But I certainly think if they can work it a little bit stronger, Germany, they can have more opportunities for those types of players in a more inside role. Because we saw Florian Wirtz do it in the first half and have a good opportunity. And Sané can certainly have that threat. But so far, not too bad of a performance from Leroy Sané. But certainly can have more of a threat if they can work the ball a little bit quicker and into more threatening spaces. Germany in the second half. Right, second half at the Allianz Arena and on the way in just a couple of minutes as there's the substitutes warming up at half-time. We'll have the second half in just a moment. Welcome back to Nations League Finals live here on LFS this evening. Great to have you all with us. As you saw there, that ad for the FIFA Club World Cup that starts on Sunday the 15th of June here in LFS. That's next Sunday. And we will have our very first game we will be watching will be the Group C match between Bayern Munich and Auckland City. That will be 5 o'clock on the 15th, followed by an All-Europe battle between PSG and Atletico Madrid, and that's a Group B game. That's at 8 o'clock on Sunday the 15th that evening. We will aim to have at least 2 commentaries for the group stages of the Club World Cup per day, and we will have as much of the games as we possibly can for you, along with our inaugural show, our new show, the LFS Transfer Show, that will be kicking off this Friday. That will be live from 4 o'clock on Friday for that one as well. So a lot of stuff to keep you up to date with, and of course, how can we forget tomorrow night's semi-final between Spain and France in the Nations League tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Those two sides met in the Euros semi-final, of course, back here in Germany last summer. So we'll see a repeat of that tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that one. Two sides well known of getting over the line. Right, the players just slowly getting their way back out for the second half here in Munich for this one tonight. The former Germany manager there in the crowd. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That will be greatly appreciated. We hit 27,000 subscribers yesterday or today, and we are hot-footing it, getting closer to that 30,000 mark that we would love to hit very soon, and we hope you can help us on that course. Merlin says, how's the game been? I missed all of it. Again, two sides with a lot of promise, a lot of attack and threat, but just a bit of sloppiness and a lack of clinical edge in the final third has let both sides down. But they both had chances. Just neither side able to take them so far in the first half. The second half with a lot of promise, we hope anyway. And we hope that we can get as best of a game as possible. Of course, we had that 10-minute delay. That's why we're a little bit later starting the second half. We had a 10-minute delay for kickoff this evening as a 10:08 kickoff, 10 minutes past 9 local time due to adverse weather conditions that impacted the warm-up, so they delayed the game by 10 minutes, did UEFA. But we got going, and we're about to get going again for the second half here in Munich this evening. Only one side can find their way to the final. Will the hosts be able to do it, or will Portugal spoil what could be a very special couple of days in this city and in this country? The only of our semi-finalists yet to win this competition are Germany. Can they change that this time round? It will be some start to the tournament, having in their first 4 editions of this tournament having 4 different winners. That is a possibility. It is a 25% chance possibility, because Germany, the only of the 4 semi-finalists that have never won this competition. Portugal won it the first time round, France the second time winners, and Spain won it most recently. It's Portugal with a free kick here early. Want to go for that cross, but nicely defended by Joshua Kimmich in a defensive role. Chipping it forward as Kimmich into the midfield, finding Leroy Sané. Switches it out wide to Waldemar Anton. Now Mittelstadt. Anton again. They moved it a lot better, Germany, in that end of that first half. But that wasn't a great pass by Jonathan Tah towards his captain. It's intercepted and the ball whipped towards the box, and Ronaldo couldn't direct it towards goal. That was perfectly choreographed by Portugal down that left-hand side, and it was Nuno Mendes with a lovely bobbling ball towards the box. And it was Cristiano Ronaldo who was on the end of it, but he just gets his toe to it and he just can't direct it across goal. Not enough contact from CR7, and that goes wide for a goal kick. But sloppy from Germany in the possession, and Portugal almost threatening, almost punishing them on the counter. As Mittelstadt with a reverse ball. Second ball brought down by Pavlovic, and the ball spun out wide here to the right side for Leroy Sané, up against Nuno Mendes. Leroy Sané bursting into the box, but Mendes gets his foot to it. I think they say last touch off Sané. They did. So goal kick to Portugal there. Very well defended by Nuno Mendes in the end there. What an 8 days it could be for him if he wins the Champions League, won the Champions League with PSG And then could he win this competition with his country? 8 days later. Nicely won by Florian Wirtz. Stealing it away from João Neves. Lays it off now to Kimmich, who chips it back inside. And Wirtz with a header. And it finds the back of the net. Florian Wirtz has got Germany the opening goal. And it was a lovely flick-on header. Looping past Diogo Costa. The Portugal players complaining. But Germany are certainly not. They're off celebrating. And they have first blood in this semi-final. Again, it's a little bit sloppy from Portugal. Wirtz wins it back first time. He chops inside. He tried to go for the chip ball in, but he gets it back. He squares it across to Kimmich, who spots him making the run. Wirtz. No one marking him. And the ball in by Joshua Kimmich is fabulous. And the header by Florian Wirtz is equally so. Gets enough on it. Curls it with a header. Fabulous. And Diogo Costa, full stretch, couldn't reach it. That is beautifully worked by Germany. And fabulously finished by the man, Florian Wirtz. They were calling for offside, were Portugal. But he was very easily onside. And Germany have first blood, although there is a VAR check ongoing. I'm not too sure why. They have, in the stadium, are confident that's a goal. Our VAR, Alan Borashak, is checking something. And they're going to go to the screen here. I'm not too sure what this is about. Some are saying offside, but Florian Wirtz was miles onside. Was there an impact of a player who was offside? Is that what's delaying it? We'll see it again. Well, maybe you could argue that Voldemara is offside and impacting the defender, but the referee has looked at it once and cleared it. That is the strangest VAR check I've seen. They called the referee over to have a look at an offside call. I think Voldemara was offside, but was he impacting the German or the Portuguese defending? The referee says no. Wirtz was easily onside. I knew that was certain. And the goal does stand, so that was very strange. Germany 1, Portugal 0. That was bizarre. Very bizarre. I mean, I think the officials were right to have a second look at that for the referee, but it was a pretty simple one. Ruben Dias, I just don't think there was enough contact. I don't think there was enough for them to say, and Portugal want to respond quickly here. Chip ball back across the box towards Trincao, but well cleared by Goretzka, and then there's going to be a foul on Valdemara. That is going to get Germany a free kick and a little bit of a reprieve there. And there's a couple of yellow cards coming out. There's a yellow card shown to the Portuguese bench. I think another one's been shown. I think another one of the coaches have been shown a yellow. Or is it Roberto Martinez that's been shown a yellow? There's a couple of Portuguese backroom staff that are not particularly happy with the referee at the moment. Yeah, I mean, he was held massively there. The German centre forward. And Roberto Martinez wasn't agreeing with the referee's decision there to give a foul against Ruben Dias. And instantly given a yellow card for that little outburst. Germany have the lead. And a lead they will be desperate to hang on to and desperate to make something of. Here's Nuno Mendes further inside. A little good bit of defending as Wirtz tries to get teammates on the move. They've held it up well, Germany. A little bit scrappily from Pavlovic, but he's held on to the ball. All the way back it goes to Ter Stegen. A little bit short there to Anton by Robin Koch, but Anton gets it clear. Nicely held up by Voldemara, but couldn't again find a runner off him. Portugal intercept. Nuno Mendes inside. No foul. The referee plays advantage as Portugal still on the threat here. Neto's ball in. is caught by Ter Stegen. Again, there is some sort of response from Portugal, but a response not enough at the moment to threaten Germany too much. A German side that were growing into the game in the first half. We looked the better of the two teams going into half time, and they've come out the better, started the better of this second half, have the hosts. Nice ball on the turn from Bruno Fernandes, but he couldn't squeeze it through the lines towards Pedro Neto. Oh, Joshua Kimmich a little bit loose. Had Valdemar Anton to keep it alive for Germany. A little bit risk-taking of Germany being in the second half. Mittelstadt. Back to Anton and now Robin Koch. Just a little bit of extra energy in Germany. Portugal look a little bit drained at the moment. Struggling to keep up with the intensity of Germany's passing now. So here they come down the right side with Sane. Nicely stopped down that side, out for a German throw. Confirmation that Roberto Martinez was shown a yellow card. As was Ruben Neves as well, the Portuguese midfielder. Here's Florian Wirtz again, wide on this left, rolls it through nicely on the spin. Finding Leon Goretzka, he's drifting into the box again, Wirtz. Again, no one marking him. Ball whipped in too high and cleared away from Voltemada. Again, Germany moving it so much nicer, so much comfortable in their play now. So much more comfortable in their play than Portugal are. And it looks like they're going to make a change here in a moment. Or the Portuguese. It looks like it's going to be Vitinha who's going to be coming on. To a move and a change in the midfield for Portugal as Voltemada was threatening in behind Ruben Dias, but the Manchester City defender held on to it and got it back to his keeper. And that's thumped away by Diogo Costa. But again, brought down by Germany, and they will look to impose themselves again. Pavlovic just couldn't reach it towards Goretzka. A good block by Leon Goretzka, who never gave up on that one. And Germany have it back again. Just that extra little bit of intensity from Germany. Even when they lose the ball, there's just that intensity to win it back quickly. Not allow Portugal to have too much control, but they've given it away loosely here. Trincao, Ronaldo trying to roll it through as Fernandes scrambles to keep it in play. And that put out of play for a throw by Joshua Kimmich. There's a second player on the sideline for Portugal to come on, so they're making more than one change in a moment. Is Roberto Martinez. Diaz here. Neves back inside to Ruben Dias. Right, Francisco Trincao. Neves. It's actually more than two players. Three players getting themselves ready for Portugal. They're taking their time. There was one, then there was two, then there was three. Clearly the substitute's not in a hurry. Nice drafted ball from Nuno Mendes towards Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes holding onto the ball into the box. Shots! Oh, it's just narrowly wide. Said there was a deflection, Bruno Fernandes, but the referee intently pointing for a goal kick. Chops onto his right there, Fernandes. There was no deflection. It was definitely a goal kick, but it was a very good opportunity. Spun it back onto his right foot and was curling towards that far post. And it just goes wide at the last second. Fernandes is certain that it was a corner, but it certainly wasn't from the replay what we could see. But I can see why he thought it was. So triple change then for Portugal. Vitinha is coming on, as is Francisco Conceição, and also is Nelson Semedo. So Vitinha, Semedo and Conceição all on for Portugal. And the three that have been replaced, I know Ruben Neves is one of them. João Neves has also been replaced. and Francisco Trincao as well has been taken off the field. So Trincao and the two Neves players are off, replaced for Portugal. Here is Conceição on the right side. Inside to Bruno Fernandes. Body's in the box. Fernandes' delivery is headed away by Jonathan Tah. And Joshua Kimmich thought he denied Portugal a corner. He didn't get there quick enough. Will be a corner to Portugal down this left-hand side. Nordim says, bro, I swear you're a good commentator. I like watching you more than the game. Thank you very much indeed for that. Who do you think's going to win? I'm not too sure. I mean, Germany winning at the moment, but Portugal have responded well to going behind. As Fernandes wanted to take the corner, the referee has to sort out some pushing and shoving first, which just saw Robin Koch on the ground. Actually, it was Joshua Kimmich that was pushed to the ground by Ruben Dias. I mean, he kind of shoulder charged him. Fernandes will take this corner then for Portugal. Right-footed, looping corner. Headed on by Ronaldo, but headed over the bar by Cristiano Ronaldo. He got up, he was free, had a free header. He just couldn't keep it down. And it was headed over the bar for a goal kick. Once again, there was no one beating him when he did get into the air. But when he got into the air, he beat himself up, really. And he didn't make much of it. Germany are going to respond to that triple change of Portugal and make a triple change of their own at the moment. So both sides opting to go to the benches. And we will mention and inform you of all of these changes in a moment. So Robin Gosens, Nicholas Füllkrug and Serge Gnabry are the three players coming on. And they have all replaced Maximilian Mittelstadt, Leroy Sané and the centre forward Nick Voltemade on his debut. So a triple change for Germany as well in response to that Portuguese triple sub in the last few minutes. And actually 13 players on the German bench, 15 on the Portuguese bench. There's no shortage of options for both sides if they do want to go to the bench, which they both have at this moment in time. Here's Ronaldo, dropping a little deeper. Lays it off now to Vitinha. Inside to Fernandes. Flicks it onto Ronaldo. A little bit better. Fernandes now. Dragged a little bit and was fouled. So that will be a free kick. It was Florian Wirtz again. That was over that one. Wirtz with a wry shake of the head. Yeah, he was slightly tugging the left arm of Bruno Fernandes. Whether it was enough to bring him down or not is another question, but he did have contact and the referee deemed it enough to be a foul to Bruno Fernandes and to Portugal. Very central, around about 26-7 yards out. This is Ronaldo territory, this. And it's actually about 30 yards out. He's done it before. Has to be a straight perler of an effort. If there's one player on the planet that's got this in his locker, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He will have a go with it. It looks like the Portuguese captain. Hits it right at the wall and hooked away by Germany. And they will try and respond on the second phase now, Portugal. Conceição wide. Edge of the box, cuts it back to Semedo. Lays it off to Vitinha as the three substitutes link up, but Vitinha loses the ball. And Goretzka trying to get forward as Gnabry just couldn't take down the clearance. And Pedro Neto retrieves for Portugal. Boss is having a real breakdown in the chat there. Conceição bursting away from his marker, and Gerson's Conceição! That is a fabulous solo goal from Francisco Conceição, and Portugal are level. Beautiful, bursting away from Gerson's and has a wonderful shot into the bottom left corner. Beautiful goal. The substitute right off the bench and finding it right into the back of the net. The 22-year-old has Portugal's equalising goal, and it's really game on inside the Allianz Arena. Germany won, Portugal won, and what a finish by Francisco Conceição. He drifts off the right-hand side, gets past Robin Gosens, and the space just opens up. There's no real cover for Germany from the midfield, and the finish is fabulous. Lifts it with his left, curling it with the inside of his instep of his left boot over the full stretching Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and it just scoops it into the net. Beautiful finish. Absolutely gorgeous goal. And Portugal are not down and out. They are right back in this game. And this is going to be a cracking next 30 minutes. Germany won, Portugal won. And that was some goal by Francisco Conceição. That was such a quality goal. And from Germany's point of view, they could have done better, but the quality of finish is always going to be highlighted. From that sort of range, it has to be perfect, and perfect it was. And now, how will Germany respond to conceding? As ter Stegen thumps the ball long and away from possible danger. Could Portugal take grip of this now? Conceição. Inside to Bruno Fernandes. Out wide to Nelson Semedo. Fernandes drifting forward on the run, but linking up with Conceição, just Semedo. And they keep the ball moving. Well, I gotta say, since Germany took the lead, it's Portugal that have responded really well, and they've certainly been the better side since going 1-0 down. And now they want to try and get it into the box again. Nicely blocked away from Neto's cross. Still alive though. Mendes. A little bit of a short pass, although it's kept alive. It's still alive here for Portugal. Ronaldo couldn't finish it. Still alive with Conceição. Germany are hanging on at the minute. Vitinha. Space in the box. Shot charged down. And Gnabry trying to scramble it away for Germany, who are at the minute hanging on. Portugal are all over Germany at this minute in time. Oh goodness. That was a terrible ball. Might give Germany a little bit of a look in there, but my goodness. Some response from the Portuguese team though. Going behind against the hosts of this tournament, the hosts of this competition for the finals. A raucous atmosphere in Munich. But they've responded incredibly well, as Germany now want to respond to conceding themselves. Gnabry's ball in. A little bit flappy from Costa. Gets it away though. Anton to deliver back in. Away by Ruben Dias. Vladimir Anton couldn't reach it. Now Conceição wants to break away for Portugal again. A little bit loose from the touch of Neto. Kept inside though by Ronaldo. On to Neto, who even he's not quick enough to reach that one. And Jonathan Tah sends it back to ter Stegen, who knocks it long again. Has got a little bit more frantic. The game a lot more open. Germany, where is their threat gone tonight? That's a lovely bit of combination! And Ronaldo finishes! A wonderful Portuguese move! And he will never have an easier goal. He scored more than many of them. But that will be as simple as you like from Cristiano Ronaldo. And Portugal have turned it around. Germany have completely disappeared. But Portugal have stood up, going behind. And they showed that fighting spirit. And they now lead in the German city of Munich. See it again. It's beautiful from the Portuguese team. Lovely ball. from Bruno Fernandes to Nuno Mendes on the run. And Mendes squares it across for Cristiano Ronaldo. Is there an offside call, though, that might just delay this? There was no flag, but VAR will have a look. This is a huge, huge decision. Of course, it will be a factual decision. Obviously, you're either on or offside. And the decision is a goal. Ronaldo's goal will stand, and Portugal do have the lead. And that has surely zapped the energy out of the Allianz Arena. From a winning position, Germany have seemingly thrown it away once again. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal that have the lead with around about 22 minutes to go in this semi-final. Germany have to find their fighting spirit. Julian Nagelsmann, as the German manager, has never lost inside this stadium. Tonight might be the night that changes, unless Germany can find their fighting spirit to respond. Cristiano Ronaldo, just absolutely inevitable. 40 years old, and has just put in his 137th international goal in his 220th international match. Absolutely inevitable. It's his 7th Nations League goal of the season. There's no doubting he is still able and capable at the top level. Ta looking to deliver into the box for Germany. Cleared away. Maybe Germany will open up a little bit more, take a few more risks, although Serge Gnabry there was a little bit sloppy, couldn't keep it in play. And 20 minutes remain. And the game isn't won. Certainly not won yet. I'll see this again. That was incredible. I gotta say, that goal is incredibly tight. It is the right decision. He's onside Ronaldo, but it's incredibly tight. It's the correct decision. Maybe you need a little bit of luck to go your way at times. And Portugal have maybe deserved it. Germany took the first blood, but ever since going behind, it was Portugal that have responded the better. And they've just made another change now, Germany. And I think Valdemar Anton has gone off here, and he's been replaced by Felix Nemecha, from what I can tell, or from what the information in front of me is telling me. So that's an interesting change from Germany's point of view. A more attacking one, certainly. That was lovely there by Wirtz. Wirtz with a ball into the box, but too easy for Diogo Costa, who comes and claims. I think they did make another change there, Germany. I'm not too sure. I think they did bring off Pavlovic. Pavlovic is on the bench, so that's interesting. But they've made more changes, have Germany. They need to. As I said, Florian Wirtz's opener could have been the catalyst for what would be a great night for Germany, but it actually turned out to be the opposite. It's been the catalyst for Portugal's comeback. And that crossfield ball, though, couldn't quite keep it down there. Conceição couldn't keep it in play. Trying to get their passing going again, Germany. Lacking rhythm recently. And that one was a nice idea. But Felix Nemecha couldn't keep it in play. I'm just trying to figure out. They did make another change, Germany. And I believe they brought Karim Adeyemi on. And replaced Alexander Pavlovic. I think that's the change that they made. It hasn't come up on the screen yet, but I believe that's what they've made, along with Felix Nemetcha coming on for Vladimir Anton. So they have made a double change there, Germany. Just hasn't been officially taken down yet, but yeah, Adeyemi is on the field. Ter Stegen. Ta. To Gersens. Inside to Nemetcha. Has to go back the way though. To Robin Koch. Looking for forward passes. Koch holding it up on the halfway line. Goretzka. Gersens back to Ta. They're moving it better, Germany, and that run in behind from Adeyemi is offside. I was waiting for that. He was just offside. Oh, well, maybe he was just off. Was Karim Adeyemi. Fabulous header from Florian Wirtz. Fabulous. The response from Portugal was immense. Conceição with the equaliser, absolutely fabulous. And then Cristiano Ronaldo, Mr. Inevitable at the international level. And now Portugal want to dead this game because there they come with Conceição into the box, rolls it on for Semedo, who gets it back across. But Germany have ample bodies in the way to clear it of danger. They're running out of time now, Germany, to try and battle back. Supportive of everyone. We are, Christopher. A little bit of a tanglement between Nuno Mendes and Serge Gnabry there. And free kick goes the way of the Portuguese. So 15 minutes to go. Germany 1, Portugal 2. Here in Munich. As it stands, Portugal will book their place in the final on Sunday. Here's Semedo on the edge of the box, drifting it back to Vitinha. Goes out wide now to Conceição. Back inside of Fernandes. Nicely worked by Portugal, although the crowding of German shirts wins it back through Füllkrug. And the ball by Nemetcha was just too much towards Goretzka. And that was nicely defended in the end by Portugal, who retrieved it. But there was a little glimpse of space there for Germany where they tried to exploit it, but the ball was just overhit. And that's maybe what's let them down at times tonight, Germany, is that little sloppiness in those key moments. It's been more endemic of Germany in the second half. Portugal were struggling in the first half, so on that front you could probably say it's been a game of two halves, because Portugal have certainly been the better of the two sides in this second. Certainly performed the better of the two sides so far, and that's why they lead. Ball over the top again. Nicely defended by Ruben Dias. Well won back by Joshua Kimmich. And here's Wirtz, and he finds it into space, a little bit overhit towards Adeyemi, but he's onside. He's got Füllkrug in the middle. He's gone very wide here, Karim Adeyemi. To Gersens. And now inside to Wirtz. Nemetcha now. Popping it around the box here are Germany. Trying to find any sort of space to find that equaliser. Lots of time remaining in the game. Ball out wide on the right here. Gnabry whips it in. Headed away there by Inacio. And the clearance too high for Ronaldo to take down, and Germany will retrieve it at the back with Robin Koch. A little bit better from the hosts. Gnabry though, slightly caught in possession and can't win it back quickly. Wirtz trying to help out, but not able to keep the ball at all. And Semedo bursting down this right hand side now for Portugal. Tracked all the way by Adeyemi. As he rolls it onto Conceição now, does Semedo, and Chips it back towards Nelson Semedo. Having a little bit of fun now, Portugal. Toying a little bit with Germany. Here's Neto. He's had a quiet second half, to be fair. Pedro Neto. Amply covered by the German defence for a lot of this second period so far. Conceição rolls it on to the box, trying to link up with Fernandes. The ball back across, and Joshua Kimmich has to stretch to clear it away at the back post. The German captain has to save his team again, and it was Francisco Conceição. Ever since he's come onto the field, he has terrorised that German defence. They just haven't been able to cope. As Germany get the throw in down that right side there. And look at the high the Portuguese press as Germany clear it long, and Fulkrug with a lovely little flick. And they're trying to hold it up, but again, Portugal winning it back, and winning it back fairly. Lots of bodies to spare. Conceição to Vitinha. Gives it back across to Inacio. And now Nuno Mendes. Lovely little ball into Fernandes on the spin, who felt he was fouled and was brought down. And that's going to be a yellow card for Jonathan Tah, the German centre-back, for that foul on Fernandes. He was ready to turn away from his man there, Fernandes, before he was taken out. And Jonathan Tah gets himself a yellow card. Yeah, Fernandes took it well on the spin, and Tah, the follow through there just was the one that was the foul. The initial challenge was fair enough. The second one was a foul. And a free kick to Portugal here. Long distance out. And this one isn't within Cristiano Ronaldo range, I can tell you. It's a good distance out, this one. This free kick about 37 yards. It's a long range out, this one. As Fernandes will just look to try and lift it forward, or maybe pass it wide. He's the one that's taking it, Fernandes. He does pass it wide into Nelson Semedo. Out to Conceição. Onto his left, chipping it round the back post. Flick back inside and up into the air and caught by Ter Stegen. For Germany, less than 10 minutes to go here in Munich. Germany 1, Portugal 2. As it stands, it will be Portugal that will be heading to the Nations League final on Sunday, unless Germany can make a difference. Can they find an equalising goal? Here's Florian Wirtz, who lifts it towards the box, towards Gnabry, who couldn't get on the end of it. And now the clearance by Vitinha might turn into a good attacking pass, because Conceição's bursting pace. He's got Tah for company. Conceição can finish it! He hits it wide. With a goal at his mercy. Francisco Conceição just flashes it wide. Has one half of the goal gaping for him to find. And he just finds it wide. If you'd have given him 2 chances before the game, that was the one. That was the one you would expect to find the net. He scored the harder chance and missed the target on the easier one. Here's Adeyemi for Germany up the other end. And he's hit the outside of the post. He found a little bit of space, Karim Adeyemi, and he flashed the effort. And it come crashing off the left upright. Just got a little bit of yard of space past Ruben Dias, and he crashed it off the post. Great opportunity. And bursting. Not too far away there from Germany's point of view. And as Portugal are going to make another change here, it's going to see Pedro Neto replaced by Diogo Jota. So Jota replacing Neto. Going to be coming out on that left-hand side then. Another threatening attacker entering the fray for the Portuguese. With 7 minutes of normal time remaining. Apologise, I missed a couple of chats a little earlier about Florian Wirtz and the situation with him. As Bernardo Silva's gone down, Florian Wirtz is actually trying to lift him back to his feet. He's been yellow carded for trying to lift a player. It's gone a little bit of a brawl with Fulkrug and Fernandez at each other's faces here, and to be separated by their respective teammates. I mean, this is just an absolute shit show. What on earth? I mean, toxic masculinity at its finest there. I mean, wise up, will you? Wise up. I mean, I can see the frustration from the German point of view. Bernardo Silva, a little bit of play acting from his point of view. The yellow card's flying out here. There's a couple of yellow cards come flying out there from the referee. One thing I can say to you is I'm certain Florian Wirtz got a yellow. And a couple of Portuguese players as well got a yellow. I think Ruben Dias got a yellow as well. Ooh. Yeah, Wirtz was absolutely destroyed on the halfway line there. Referee saw no foul. And then we see a little bit afterwards. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, there's barely a touch on Bernardo Silva there, and he falls to the ground. I mean, I can understand why the Germans were a little bit frustrated and why Florian Wirtz tried to lift him back up. Of course, you can't do that, but there is some understanding to be felt there. And Nicholas Fulkrug's been shown a yellow as well for his involvement. Ruben Dias has been shown a yellow for his involvement. I don't know if that's it. I think it might be, but there's a couple of players shown a yellow there for that whole mad brawl. That was just idiotic, really. I mean, what's that all about? I mean, I can understand the frustration from Florian Wirtz's point of view that he was absolutely cleaned out by Bernardo Silva on the halfway line and no foul was given. And then Bernardo Silva went down by the faintest of touches and a little bit of play acting from his point of view. And I can understand the German frustration, but again, you can't do things like that, trying to lift the player back to his feet. You just can't do it. But I can understand the frustration. And then it just turned out to be, I mean, a mad lot of masculinity showing itself for no real reason. I mean, it was just stupidity from both sets of players. As that was a foul and a push by Bernardo Silva on Robin Koch, so it's just a foul and a free kick to Germany. 4 minutes of normal time remain. Germany 1, Portugal 2, and they can't keep the ball in play. Jonathan Tah's ball towards Robin Gosens and already crossed the sideline, so that is another wasted opportunity for Germany and a waste of possession. So just to confirm, it was Wirtz, Fulkrug and Dias that were all yellow carded for that moment. As Gosens was fouled there by Nelson Semedo. Free kick to Germany. 3.5 minutes to go, plus the additional time. If Germany find an equaliser here, we could be heading to extra time. And possibly penalties after that. We will see. Here's Gosens. That is if Germany can find an equaliser. Here's Wirtz. A little isolated on the left channel. Wins a throw in though off Bernardo Silva. Excuse me. Nice ball by Koch down the right side to Joshua Kimmich. Inside to Gnabry, trying to find Kimmich again, but massively undercooked the pass. And Koch had to come through the back of Cristiano Ronaldo there to win the ball. And that was an easy foul. And an easy one to spot from the referee. Free kick to Portugal. And there's no one more experienced than him. Cristiano Ronaldo. Finding a way to get his side over the line. The team that have won this competition in its very first edition. Portugal want to try and make it 2 wins. Germany, who have never won this competition before, might just be falling again. And this time on home patch, just like they did last summer in the Euros. Not able to make home advantage count. And it seems tonight they had it in their grasp and have thrown it away. But Portugal, no discredit to them, taking no credit away from them. They've been fabulous. And they can't be offside from a throw-in. Ronaldo's in behind here. There's bodies in the box for Portugal. They can finish it now. It's Jota! Save to follow up a save from Conceição as well. A fabulous double save from Ter Stegen. Still not over though. Semedo into the box. Fernandes has it. Vitinha. Now Conceição wide. Gets past Adeyemi. Conceição across. And it's poked away from Ronaldo's grasp. And out for the throw. Or actually it's given for a offside actually against the Portuguese there. Well, you can't be offside from a throw. Ronaldo makes the run in behind. The German defence a little bit slow at reacting. It's Jota that got the brick of the ball past his man in Jonathan Tah. And he toe-poked it towards Ter Stegen. Strong right-handed save. It's parried into the path of Francisco Conceição, who has a shot himself. And again saved at point-blank range from Ter Stegen. Fabulous from the German goalkeeper. But how did Portugal not find the ultimate finish to dead this game? Ter Stegen has given his side a little glimmer of hope, if there is any left. As Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be replaced, and João Palhinha is coming on in his place. So just a little bit more solidity from a Portuguese point of view to end this match. I apologise, Joseph, for reminding you of the Euros. I do apologise for having to mention it. Ronaldo again. The man that could be getting Portugal over the line once more and helping them into another final. We will see how long is left. 5 additional minutes is what remains. Germany need a goal to keep the tie alive. Tah out wide to Gersons. Again back to Jonathan Tah. Germany having a lot of the possession and are in the Portuguese half, but Portugal, with everybody behind the ball, needs must at the moment from the Portuguese. There's no way through at the moment. Jonathan Tah has to go back to Ter Stegen. Need to get it forward, Germany. Ter Stegen switching it out to the right side. Brought down by Joshua Kimmich. Reverses it into the path of Nemecha. Back to Kimmich again. Kimmich will go for the early low cross. Vates tried to flick on. He goes again, blocked. And it was blocked there. Well, by Inacio. Will be a German corner though. It was good endeavour from Florian Wirtz to win the corner. A chance here for Germany from this set piece. Right hand side, bodies in the box. 3 minutes or so to go. It's Joshua Kimmich, the captain, who will deliver this corner. On the right hand side, they've got so many bodies in the box, Germany. They need to now. Right footed, chipped across over the head of everybody in white and black. And that goes out for a throw into Portugal on the far side. Although there was a German body in the ground, Nicholas Füllkrug, but that's not a foul. Yeah, that's not a foul. Just a collision between him and Bruno Fernandes there, Nicholas Füllkrug, but it's not a foul. And certainly not a penalty. Time running out for the Germans. Time getting ever closer for Portugal to the final whistle. and a place in the Nations League final. Another long ball by Ter Stegen, flicked on by Goossens. Again, headed away, this time by Vitinha. And Portugal want to get on the breakaway, and they've got Bruno Fernandes on the move, and he tried the ball across. That was easily gathered by Ter Stegen. And now might Germany have a little bit of space to manoeuvre into here. That's a terrible ball though by Joshua Kimmich. Awful. And Portugal have it back down this right hand side now. And they're in a less of a hurry than they were just 15 seconds ago. It's Fernandes holding it up past Wirtz. Lays it off to Conceição. He's dribbling his way through bodies. Fabulous. And the ball across is cleared away. And now the shot by Palhinha is deflected. It will be a corner. Well, Portugal are doing everything they can to keep it at this end of the field and keep Germany at bay. Germany are trying to keep Portugal at bay at the moment. Lovely from Vitinha. Absolutely dancing away from defenders in German colours. And the corner taken short by Conceição, and Fernandes will get the throw in. Last minute of the game. Germany are going to need an unbelievable counter-attacking moment here to have their chance. The Portuguese fans believe that they're going to the final, and they're not too far away from that whistle telling them that's the case, as that's going to be a foul for Florian Wirtz from that Portuguese throw. So it will be a one last chance hit and hope for Germany. Score, and we head to another extra time and penalties, but fail to take your chance and the game is over, and they've had it cleared away now, Portugal, and they want to break away themselves. They have a chance. The flag stayed down. Portugal are in to try and add a third. It's a chance. It's a good save by Ter Stegen, and hooked away by Germany, and there's no more time. The time is up. Germany's chance of being winners of this competition on home turf is over, and Portugal's chance of maybe making it a second in this competition are going to Sunday's final. Cristiano Ronaldo's ultimate winning goal is what carries Portugal through. Roberto Martinez's side needed a second half comeback when they went 1-0 down after Florian Wirtz's header put Germany in front. But an equaliser of pure class from Francisco Conceição, and a winner from 40-year-old captain Cristiano Ronaldo, who can still do it at the top level. Whoever doubted it? And Portugal are into the Nations League final. Germany unable to get over the line like so many times before in tournaments at the international stage, and even their home advantage couldn't help them this time round. Final score from the Allianz Arena in Munich in the Nations League semi-final. It has finished Germany 1, Portugal 2. And what a result for Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo, as you would expect, being the one to make the difference in a big game. And Portugal needed that comeback, and they provided that comeback. And Francisco Conceição got it going with his fabulous goal to equalise. And Ronaldo with his coolest of finishes into an empty net to make it 2-1. Frustration for Florian Wirtz and his teammates. He was the one that gave Germany the lead, but has been so common with Germany over the last number of years. They have failed to get over the line once again. And Julian Nagelsmann's next attention will be qualifying and getting to the World Cup next summer. For Portugal, success in this competition is still very much possible, of course, as they head into the final on Sunday, and they will face either one of Spain or France. The European champions, Spain, or will it be the World Cup finalists, France? We will see. That is the way tonight is gone. So Germany have been beaten on home turf, so Portugal are into the final, and we'll find out tomorrow who they will play on Sunday, of course, and that will be either Spain or France. They play tomorrow in Stuttgart, tomorrow 8 o'clock, so join us for that one. And of course the live final is at 8 o'clock on Sunday after the third place playoff, which is something that we don't often hear about anymore, but that is still a thing in this competition. So Germany will be in action on Sunday, and they will face the loser of tomorrow night's match in a third placed playoff on Sunday afternoon in Stuttgart. We will see what comes of that on Sunday. Thanks very much for joining us tonight, though. Join us tomorrow for Spain v France to see who Portugal will face. But can Cristiano Ronaldo do it again for his country? They did it in 2016 in the Euros. They did it in 2018 in this competition to win it and be the very first winners. They want to make it a second title in the Nations League to Portugal, and they're only one win away from that now. Germany again failing to get over the line. Thanks for your company tonight. It's great to have you with us, and we'll see you again tomorrow night, hopefully, for Spain against France. Night night.